Hello my friends, welcome to Internet Electronics channel. This is Uncle Misha. Today we have very interesting unit on our desk. So this is Hewlett-Packard 8903B audio analyzer. I happened to purchase this from the gentleman who I think was setting up or selling out his lab. It also came with some other gear which I'm gonna show you on a photo. So this is pretty decent unit. Oh, by the way, and I've got it fairly cheap, must tell you. And it also comes with some other very interesting gear. So this is audio analyzer which allow you to do a lot of measurements. So it can do sweeps, it can do distortions, it can do signal to noise ratio, a CNOT measurement. So this unit is pretty cool. So as you see, I'm still not familiar with the unit, but as you see, it has a lot of settings. So it has output impedance, output ground, this is power. So over here, this is like a source unit. Here you can set up the frequency increment, all right, amplitude increment, or you just type the frequency right here. And here is like, so if you type frequency, you hit this button, gonna be in kilohertz, this is in hertz or millivolts, and this is in dBs or dBms. So there are still a lot of things I do not understand about this unit. But this is, I tried some things already, and I know this thing is operational, and it was claimed as it is operational. This unit also has a measurement section right here, which actually going to be taking some signal from input. Also, it has some particular options. It's like 40 Hz high pass and CCIT weighting. I think this is specifically for communication. Not sure if this can be. This can be used probably to cut off some mains noise if I need to. All right, so there is also control for input ground. So there are two measurement screens. So this one I think outputs frequencies. This one outputs signal level amplitudes in dB, dBm, volt, and millivolts. Ratio button and CNOD, a dial. I'm not sure again. I'm not that familiar with that unit yet, how it works. So I need, but the basic functions I can. There's also two cheat sheets right here. You can open up and read some settings. And there is also another one for error codes. Apparently there is a lot of error codes and some other HPIB operation. So let's take a look. Like as you notice, there is no inputs right here. So some other units have inputs right here, but 9303B with specific option would have inputs on the back. So on the back, we have few things. So this one is HPIB interface. So this is cool because I can set up this thing and control it from the computer. We have monitor, have no idea what is this, x-axis, y-axis, and pen lift. Again, not really sure what these are about. But the main thing for me is output here and input. It has two inputs. I think I understand this is low input and high input, and two outputs, high and low. I think they are different in impedance probably, and there is a difference in level. So again, I need to learn. So this says, so high input says 100 kilo ohm, the input resistance, 300 volt RMS, and 100 kilo ohm. This is pretty much the same. 100 volt RMS. So I see no difference. So, and over here it says an output 10 volt peak to peak, and over here it says 10 volt peak to peak. So I don't really understand what's difference between high and low, honestly, because the input impedance and output impedance is switchable on the front. Yeah, well, still need to learn things. I'm not an expert, so it's going to be a separate video where we're going to be actually trying to do some useful things with this device. All right, so there is a, looks like this is quite beefy power supply right here. This unit is actually quite heavy, I must say, like really heavy. And it has rack mount over there, which is pretty cool. And it also has handles, which you can carry. Okay, this is mains input, and this is the fuse. That's pretty much all on the back. So from one perspective, I would like to have this on the front, but I think this particular option has those inputs and outputs on the back. So let's just try to show you some basic operation of the unit. The easiest thing would be just to connect high of the output and high of the input and try to measure distortion of this particular cable. And it's very easy to, not very easy to lock. Man, so let's power it up. Oops, it's not easy to power up with the, here we are. Now it's showing some sort of AC level, probably induced by some fields around the this basement. Alright, so what can we do? So the only thing I figure out what to do is to set the frequency to 1000 Hertz. Then amplitude 1 volt. Amplitude 1 volt. Alright, so now we're showing, because we're outputting 1 kilohertz 1 volt, and we're showing this 1 volt 1 kilohertz. And now we're gonna do this. So this is gonna measure our distortion in one cable, which actually goes from input to output. That's pretty much what it does. So, and distortion is in percents, is 0.00. That's quite low distortion, I would say, in percents. So theoretically, I can try to set up like a sweep. Start frequency 20 hertz, stop frequency 20 kilohertz, and sweep. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Oh, it does the sweep. Look at this. Yep. So it's going to be doing sweep at different frequencies and measuring distortion at different frequencies at 1 volt level, I assume. I'm curious if it's possible to actually tweak this table of frequencies, for example, or it's figure out itself, because the numbers look, it's just like some weird ass numbers. So it's probably just divided it proportionally and outputs. But number of steps and frequencies, interesting. If I can adjust. Look at this, at higher frequencies, distortion is much higher. Interesting. So at 20 kilohertz, distortion is like 10 times larger. Okay, so this is the function so far I figured out with this unit. Obviously, the user manual of this beast is like crazy, so I need to learn everything. But so far, so good. This unit works, sweep is working, so I would be able to do frequency response curves on my audio gear, which is awesome. Distortion as well, synod, and signal noise ratio. Also, it does AC level and DC levels, but I mean, I have so much gears for that, so it's not a problem. Yep. So what we can, I can show you also the gear that I got with this unit. I have gotten a whole bunch of GPAB stuff, so look at this. There are 2 cables, essentially, of HP GPAB interface. Also, the most important is this Agilent GPAB to USB interface. This is kick-ass because these things are actually quite expensive. So this is really good to have. But another is more interesting thing. And here is another interesting thing. So this is like XLR cable. Well, I have a few of these, not that a big deal. Or here we are. So this is interesting thing. So this is some XLR, how would I say, pigtail kind of unit. So this to connect your, these are like 4 Nutri connectors to connect your XLR audio devices. So this is like input and output, which is going to be connected straight to the analyzer. And here's some additional XLR pigtail. So this really helps a lot to actually start doing some testing, because this is everything is already available. I can put this anywhere I want and connect everything to the back, and at front I would have everything already accessible. So this is really, really nice. So all that came with that unit. So awesome. I think it's gonna be it for this video. Just a little introduction of my recent acquisition of HP8903B, sorry, HP8903B, which I'm really happy about. I paid $250 for everything. For working unit like this, I think it's a pretty good price, and if I don't need it, I would be able to sell it for sure. So guys, I think this is gonna be it. Next video I will be showing how this thing works and actually do some something practical with it. Well, please stay tuned for more videos, stay safe, and ciao.